What up? Welcome back. Welcome back to Rethink.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. Game of Thrones was last night. You're not a fan?
I'm a huge fan.
I admit it last night.
But I'm just saying, you mentioned Game of Thrones, and now I'm going to get 50 emails going, I cannot believe that you watch a show that shows boobies. And wieners.
Yeah. Lots of wieners. That was great. 21 seconds in.
I haven't seen a wiener on that show in several seasons.
Like season 2.
Hodor.
Yeah, Hodor.
That was worth 4 seasons.
Yeah, that looked like that antler behind you right now. That thing was, yeah. Anyway.
That wasn't real, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jordan did research.
Yeah, of course he did. Jordan is the biggest Game of Thrones fan.
He is.
Him and my brother. My brother's crazy. He's watched it 10 times through. It's like, don't you have a life?
Jordan read all the books.
So did my brother.
Before there was even a series.
He had a tweet the other day that was like, 8 years ago when all my friends thought I liked this show with sibling sex and pushing kids out the window.
Yeah, why am I so stoked about a brother and sister having sex and pushing a kid out a window?
Yeah, and now we're here.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good. Last night was good. Taylor didn't like it. She's like, it was boring. I'm like,
it was all set up.
They had to set it up.
Yeah. I used to feel conflicted about that. So one of my favorite teachers of all time, the guy that actually brought me back to Christ in college, his name was Tommy Oakes, and I asked him, like, what's your favorite, like, who's your favorite author? And he said Stephen King. And I was like, no, because I was living in the Bible Belt. I was like, no, you're a Christian. You can't like Stephen King. And he says, why? He's from Tennessee. Why? It's just they're great stories between evil versus good.
Makes sense.
And it's just, okay. And satanic cars and dogs.
Yeah.
So, but I thought all literature is evil versus good.
Yeah.
And I think movies today, like there was a scene in last night in Game of Thrones. Those three girls.
Yeah.
It
didn't need to be in there.
Robin and I were like, why? It didn't add to the story at all.
No.
So sometimes I just go, are they just doing that for ratings?
For sure.
Or to get high school boys to go, oh, this is why we watch.
Yeah.
But it just got awkward and weird. So it didn't do anything for me at all. But I do understand why people would be critical. I mean, if you have if you really struggle in that area of your life, I mean, you can't go to a swimming pool, or which I made a Cancun reference.
Yeah, you did.
Man, there was a woman at the pool, and she was so secure, but you could not see her bikini. It was engulfed.
That's like the lady on Game of Thrones when she took her necklace off and went from the red queen into the old lady. Not last night, last season.
I don't remember that.
This one was like, it's burned in your
this was like,
brain.
And I'm not I don't think I'm prejudiced against heavy people.
Yeah.
I think that there's like 7 women in the world that look good in bikinis, and they're all supermodels.
Yeah.
And everybody else should just wear something else.
Be a little conservative.
Yeah. It's like, well, there's part of me want to go, good for her.
Yeah. She's confident.
Yeah, but delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like seeing those. I've always said there are days coming when I'm just going to give up. And I saw the man that I'm going to be someday.
Who's that?
He's walking. I don't know his name.
Oh.
So he had on a straw hat. He had on a dress shirt.
On the beach.
On the beach.
Yep.
Tucked into a Speedo.
Yeah.
Wearing socks and sandals with a metal detector. And I just thought, he wins.
Why not?
There's a day where you just go, you know what? Who cares? I'm just going to walk on the beach. I like this shirt. I like my Speedo. I like my sandals. I'm going to find me some,
gold.
Some gold.
Some buried treasure.
There's a day when we just got to go, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yep.
Just let it go.
Yep.
Right?
With a Speedo and a tucked in shirt.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
There's a button down.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm picturing it now, and it's...
Yeah.
I'm picturing you in that now, and it's quite the show.
You know what? If we ever go to the pool together, I may show up.
I would love that.
All right.
Cool.
Because actually the tail of the shirt was actually coming out of his legs.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an
He was about
image.
150.
Yeah. That's image.
Yeah. He just didn't care.
No. I wish I'm like that someday.
Yeah. He needed to use moisturizer.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't care.
No. He's in the humidity. He was going to let that moisturize him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Yep.
Hey, before we jump into this, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing. Keep sharing. We appreciate it. And as it keeps growing, that's awesome.
Yeah. And people also ask, the Old Fashioned Friday, it's only available on YouTube.
Yep.
And that thing's really, really taken off too.
It is. It's cool. Yeah. This past week was really good.
Thanks.
You haven't given me 3 compliments yet, but that's fine. We'll get there.
You're right.
We'll get there. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to give you any compliments in it, but this weekend was decent. So, no, this weekend was really good. And if you didn't watch, if you didn't listen, you talked about worry and what that looks like, chasing after Jesus and why we worry and all that type of stuff. And there was a bunch of points during the weekend that I was thinking one way and then I reverted and then was going down that path and then you reverted me a different way. But what I wanted to talk about today is to get to that point.
Reverted a lot.
I reverted a lot.
I don't know if that's the right word.
I rethought a lot.
Okay. Redirected your thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to look at word up later.
Yeah, I'll figure it out at some point.
Divert again?
Divert again. Yeah.
If you reverted, you reverted.
Well, I didn't revert back to my original thought. I reverted to a different route. So it's just continually rethinking, you could say.
There's a compliment. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But with that,
And your hat's your shirt's less hideous this week too.
yeah, it's just a Diamond Supply shirt.
Well, I just want to point out that 90% of the people think that you ought to rethink your wardrobe.
No.
90%.
I went to the gym after we recorded last week, and I had 3 people say, "Wow, you look so dope in that shirt," and I was like, "Thank you." Those are the only compliments that I was really searching for. So
Those are paid staff. They have to do that.
Santino told me I looked good. I was good for it. So anyway, that's beside the point. What I wanted to talk about is what.
Well, John C's here. What'd you do this weekend, John?
I filmed a wedding this weekend.
Okay, that's where I want to stop right there. So you can film a wedding. Just
It hasn't been in one.
Hasn't been in one.
Yeah.
Hasn't like
Is that on the
scheduled
horizon?
one.
It is on the horizon. Yeah.
How far down the horizon, Jonesy?
It's getting closer every day.
That's usually how it works.
Horizon's a long way away.
Yeah.
Miles.
It's not that far.
You okay?
It's gonna be coming soon.
That's great. I can't wait for that day.
Yeah.
That'll be a good day.
It'll be a good day.
Yeah.
All right.
But what I want to talk about today is when you said, I heard the 11, but I read your talk and you said, like, what I'm about to process is just me processing. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So you've been processing worry in your life and where you worry and where you don't worry and what you're walking through with that. So what I wanted you to walk through is, like, how did you come, not to the conclusion, because I think you're still processing it and working through it, but what's been your steps of looking at, like, here's something I'm worried about. Here's what I haven't let God take control of. Use that Dallas Willard quote of, what you worry about is just things you haven't released. No, not released. What was the
Surrendered.
word? Surrendered. So walk me through that. What's that process been for you to say, here's something I'm worried about. Here's the steps I'm taking. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm still working towards surrendering that.
Yeah. And again, I think that sometimes I do better than others. Jesus used a word where he called people, you're a little faith. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of times where I go, today I don't have a lot of faith. And so some days are better than others.
Is there a trigger that puts you in that mind state?
I just circumstances, health, tiredness, how Rob and I are getting along, how dumb people are being at work or not, or things like that. So there's all kinds of triggers, but they just reveal something that's already there. I think that, there comes a point in your life, like this week, what I'm teaching about on Easter is, everybody has a quit point. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my friend Rourke about SEALs, and when you go to BUD/S and things like that, they're not trying to get you to quit. They're trying for you to identify what your quit point is, and then maybe move that out further. Because the last thing you want to do is when you're in the middle of a battle, going, "There it is, I'm done."
Yep.
So they're trying to find that point where like, okay, I can go this far, and then I'm going to tap out. And again, you need to identify that and then do whatever you do to push that out further than what it currently is. Because we all have the capability of keeping going more. The thing about SEALs that Rourke taught was you can never introduce the idea of quitting, because once you introduce the idea of quitting, then it's a matter of time.
That's a deal on the table.
Right. Yep. Now it's an option. It's like, that's why, like Robin and I said, early in our marriage, we can fight and we can yell and we can do all kinds of things. The one thing we cannot introduce is the D word, the divorce word, because once you introduce that into reality, you speak it into reality, going, oh,
it's an option.
So there's a door.
Yep.
There's a door, and there's a quit point, right? And so I think that for me, as Rob and I have been married 35 years this summer, and with all of my, Crucible Talk is all my shadow. So I'm a workaholic, and I've been out there trying to just, slam things so I can prove I'm enough. I got to get more people. I got to get this, got a bigger church, got to get, better do this, got to go on more trips, got to do all this stuff that is self-imposed on myself. So I left Robin at home a lot. And then Robin has a whole lot of health things. So she's had to deal with a lot of those. So we're the perfect recipe for they shouldn't make it. And so, one of the statements I made in a talk was, I've got to figure this out and I got to fix it and make it work, because if I don't, then I'm going to be stuck with this life.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah.
And so there comes a point where you have to say, okay, your option, your deals on the table are you keep on going or you quit. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to quit, but I'm not going to live miserable either.
Talk about how that doesn't contradict, because you also said, and this is one of the points where like I started diverting in my head, when you start talking about there's the people out there that are just out there trying to solve problems over and over and over again. It's like, I can do this myself. I can do this myself. I can keep working and keep working. I'm not going to quit. And then you drive yourself to like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So explain the difference there, where it's like, we're not trying to work to a point of proving, like, we're not going to just give up, but we're also not going to work to a point of exhaustion. It's like, what's different about those two things?
Well, I'm not going to work to a point of exhaustion, but I am going to work really, really hard.
Right.
So I can't speak for Rob, so I'm just going to talk on my side of this, okay? I have to keep on working at understanding. I have to keep on working at patience. I have to keep on working at, there's never a point where I go, okay, I'm just going to pretend like it's not there, because then I withdraw.
Yeah.
Like one of my tendencies, and Robin had a good talk about this one time. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I said, I've shut down part of our marriage in order to protect us, but I inadvertently shut down too much.
Sure.
And then we became friends and buddies and roommates and like cohabitants, all right? But we weren't husband and wife. And I said, we're both going to lose if I shut down that. So I have hopes and expectations, and so I'm going to ask for what I want, but I'm not going to make it conditional for our relationship. And that, I know that sounds really clandestine and kind of like, well, what are you really talking about? I think you can fill in the blank there. Is like, if there's something, like I can't fix depression, right?
It's not possible.
Well, so far it hasn't. Yeah. And, Paul says that he asked God, 3 times to take this thorn out of his flesh, and every time it came back, no, but my grace is sufficient for you. Well, I think that that's probably an understatement. I think he probably asked 3,000 times.
Sure.
It's
probably 3 times that minute.
Yeah, 3 times in the last hour.
Yeah.
My point is so worry is I've got to fix this, and if I don't figure this out, then something's going to be horrible. There's some things I can't figure out, and I don't want to live a horrible life. So what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to take Robin to her appointments. We're going to keep on juggling medicine. We're going to keep on talking. We're going to keep on running after our marriage. I'm also going to keep on asking for, hey, can that be a part of our relationship? But when the answer comes back, no, I'm not holding the relationship hostage to that. I think it was Andy Stanley who says we have to change our expectations to hopes, because you always have hope.
Yeah.
If you have expectations, nobody can meet your expectations. Yeah. And so I think, again, this sounds kind of like, what are you talking about? I think fear and anxiety and worry are, they break us apart, and then we begin to believe things that aren't true, and then we don't know who we are, and then everything's gonna get screwed up. Because, all right, let's just talk about a typical situation where you have a workaholic married to a bipolar, right? And anybody can fill in their blanks. You're a this and she's a that, or whatever that is, okay? There comes a point where you get so tired and exhausted and hopeless that you go, okay, what about me?
Yeah.
All right? What about me? And you have to take care of yourself health-wise, but you also say, when you start thinking about me, now you don't know who you are, because you're like, what about me? I've got to take care of myself. And Jesus is here going, hey, I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I'm all you need, whether Robin gives you what you need or not. I'm all she needs, whether you come home tonight and pay attention or not. We got to hold on to that. Jesus is what I need. There's a day come when I won't have Robin, or she won't have me, because we'll die, or we're just on a trip, or she's curled up in a ball, and then I'm sitting down on my couch and go, okay, I'm alone. What about me? And me will go try to find some really, I think I'll tell myself it's a good thing. I'll look in a horrible place for it, and then I'll lose everything, because I'm thinking wrong, don't know who I am. And
you're even looking surface level there. You're not even looking to fill, like, you're not saying I need to fill this void. It's like, no, I just want this.
I just want to feel good.
Yep. Is that your normal reaction when you get to the point of, I'm thinking for myself here, where it's like, when I get to the point of like, hey, what about me? I I think my first thing that I do is I cut Jesus out completely. I don't know why that is. So now I'm thinking through that right now, but it's like, I'm thinking through the stuff with my dad, and it's like I've been the POA and the executor of the account and like working through all that stuff while trying to grieve and also using it as a buffer to not grieve. And so I've just been in a weird spot for probably a month and a half. But I've also been in the spot of like, well, what about me? Nobody's looking to take care of me. And I isolate, but I think I isolate from Jesus first and then everybody else second. Mm-hmm. Is that what do you do when you get into that spot of what about me?
Well, first of all, I do that too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what about me? And I know you're there, Jesus,
right.
But I'm frustrated. I'm lonely. I'm horny. Whatever. What about me? And you have to take a breath. I mean, you just have to take a breath and go, I got to make a choice here, a decision here or not. One is I'm looking at Robin to make me feel like a man or something. Yeah. Right? She's never has been able to do that.
No, but I do that response even when I know Taylor's never done that or doesn't do that. She doesn't have the power to do that, but I still keep going back to her, like, make me feel like this.
Right. Yeah. So the other day I came in, it was a Monday morning, and I was feeling pretty sorry for myself. I came into rehearsal Saturday. I walked into rehearsal on Saturday, and I was reading through my talk, and some people were asking me some questions, and it wasn't going as quickly. And I just finally went, hey, I just want to tell everybody right now, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to be a dick today. And which is a horrible thing to say. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, no,
Right.
Because I was carrying a lot. I knew I was going to be talking about some stuff, and then I was carrying some stuff in there, and I was tired. I had to run. It was blah, blah, blah. It was a whole bunch of stuff, right? But then I remember sitting down and actually reading through what I was about to teach, reading the verses that I was about to teach through. And it was like, so why are you worrying about this? And you got to put it back into perspective. And again, when I say all this, it sounds so spiritual and whatever. This helps more than anything.
Yep. It
doesn't always help. And sometimes I still screw things up, all right? Mm-hmm. But when I take a breath and sit down and go, okay, all I'm focusing on right now is what I'm worried about and what's going wrong. Right?
Which is so easy to do.
Well, yeah, because that's just all that's in my windshield right now, right? And so, but I got some other stuff going right, and he's been good and he's been faithful and he's with me, and that's good and that's good and that's good. But I can have 99 things going well, and then I get one email, and then that ruins my day. Or I can do, have 99 great things, and then one thing goes wrong, and that's all my life's about. And I think sometimes what we have to do is we have to take a breath and go, my life's not about the last conflict or the last fight or the last argument or the last 5 minutes. And you have to step and go, okay. And that's what I think Jesus means by seek first.
Yeah.
Is go, hey, before you run down a road and go, what about this? What about this? Hey, just stop and go, hey, Jesus, okay. Help me take a breath in this. Okay, you with your dad, mm-hmm. All right? It probably feels like everybody just wants a piece of you. You have to be the adult, and you haven't had time to grieve.
Yes.
Am I close?
Very close.
All right. So one is you get something out of that too.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, 100%. And I feel it where it's like there's other stuff that I could have passed off. I'm like, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you get something out of that.
For sure.
Or you would have called a halt to it. Okay. So you have to go, what am I taking on for myself? And that kind of gives me this righteous anger to look at all these other people going, you're not carrying your load.
Right.
Tell me I'm awesome.
Right.
Well, you're awesome. Right. But it'd be more awesome if you go, hey, I don't know your situation at all, right? Hey, you guys need to do this with me.
Right.
Right. Not because I can't do it by myself. I've already done most of it by myself, but this is our dad, or this is our friend, or this is our whatever. And I think that, again, it goes back to one of the things. All right. So it's kind of getting clarity for me right now. So like with Robin, I would get really, really frustrated about certain parts of our life, and I would just let it build. And then I get really passive aggressive. Mm-hmm. And then she'll say, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I'm just tired. And we've been together 35 years.
Yeah.
She's 37 with dating and stuff like that. And she's like, it's a matter of time till it's going to blow, right? And so I remember working through some of this with James Henderson, and I blew up at him one time. And he says, you want to work through this? I'm like, no, I want to sit in a while. I'm going to feel sorry for myself for 2 days.
Yep.
And then I said, sometimes the things that make me sad come out as anger, but I don't want to be angry, so I come out as passive aggressive. So really, it's scary, but I had to sit down with Robin and go, okay, this is what's going on with me. And it scares me, it makes me angry, and and I don't like it, but if we're going to get on the other side, I got to say it. So here's where I think our relationship has deteriorated down to. And I own that, because in trying to protect our relationship, I don't want to put pressure on her to be more or do more than what she's capable of, because then it just makes her feel like a shittier wife or, bad mom or what it is. And so I'm trying to protect her, and you're trying to protect something by taking it all on. Okay. Yeah. But you're angry about it.
So as you're talking right now, it's like, I don't know if I'm angry about it. I'm in a spot of like, I'm trying to protect everybody around me. So someday down the road, they look at me and go, oh, Cole had my back. And it plays into a whole bunch of stuff that I've walked through before, but it's like, I need to feel needed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I know you a little bit, right? Somebody's going to do something and tell you that you're not good enough, and then all the anger you suppressed, all right, you're going to go, yeah, well, where have you been? And who did all that? And who did all that? And where were you?
Yep.
And then so the anger's still in there.
Oh, for sure.
It's just being kind of like put in a closet right now. Like, no, I'm taking one for the team.
Sure.
I'm being the adult. All right. So what I'm doing, I was taking one for the team, and I was like trying to, and our motivations are right.
For sure.
Okay. I think there's a lot of people out there listening. The scenarios are going through their head right now going, listen, I'm just trying to protect my kids, or I'm just trying to protect my whatever. And so I'm just not going to say anything. Mm-hmm. All right. Because I just don't want to have a fight, or I don't want to hurt her feelings. All right. So then what do? You just put it in a closet, right? And then somebody's going to be the unfortunate soul that is that final needle, and then they're going to get all of it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to go, I'm sorry. I guess I was angrier than I thought. And so to have that conversation, so it goes back to, how are you dealing with worry? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep it out in front of me, training, whatever, right? And say, hey, Rob, or with Jordan, or there's some relationships that are coming to mind right now going, you probably need to go do that right now, because you're inwardly, you're like taking one for the team, and you just need to go have a clarifying conversation. But when I go to Rob and I go, hey, this is making me angry or sad or scared or whatever that is right now, and I'm going to say it, you don't need to do anything with it, but I got to keep it out there. Otherwise, I'm going to throw it at you in passive aggressive ways. Yep. You're going to do that with your mom. You're going to do that with your brothers. You're going to do it with everybody else that you're not going to ask them to help, but they just should know.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what I've found in the whole worry and anxiety thing is, okay, this is causing me to spin out. Right? If I have to fix this, and if I don't, what will happen? Then I'll have a horrible life. Well, you probably won't.
Right.
Right. As a matter of fact, most of the horrible things in my life, God's really leveraged for something really, really good. Not that I'm really happy they happened in the moment.
Yeah.
But what I've found is the only way to deal with worry, so much of things we're afraid of lose their power when we put them out in front of us and say, there it is. I'm going to say it out loud. Big grace, big truth, right? Or big truth, big grace, little truth. Most of us live with little truth going, I'm just going to put a little bit out there, and then we carry it all. Like, it's like, that's why I think every man should be in a men's group. Because for you to walk in and go, okay, I'd like to just say to everybody today, I thought about murdering my son. And that's hypothetical, Jordan. I'm just kidding, right? Or, hey, every trigger in my mind and thoughts and emotions says, look at porn on your phone. You'll never get caught. And right. And everything is spinning me back to that point. I just need to say that out loud. I don't need y'all to do anything. I just need you to know I'm in a dark spot, and my go-to is porn or liquor. Or I was on Facebook and I saw this girl from high school, and my thumb is on send. I've written 3 messages. I haven't sent them yet. I need you to know that. All right. I'm really scared about what I'm capable of. And sometimes when you put it out there, it goes, okay, that's just not true.
Yeah. Shining light on that, the darkness can't overcome it. Right?
Well, that's what someone really wise said, right? So that's what I would say is, this is like what you're feeling right now, carrying all the weight from carrying all your dad's arrangements. Is a brewing storm. And right now, something within you is saying, you just got to do this for your dad, do this for the family, do this whatever. But you're angry, and it's not going to come out until it comes out,
right?
And it probably won't come out on the right way,
for sure,
right?
Absolutely.
And so there's nothing wrong with anger,
right?
I think worry is fear. Fear is something is about to hurt me, or something is about to take something from me, and I need to do something, and I don't know what it is. But this is what we're talking about with Jesus this week. He's in that garden. He's overwhelmed with sorrow.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to hurt really bad. All right. So Jesus, your options are don't do it.
Yep.
Or
step into it.
Or step into it. And why would you ever step into it? Because I'm giving away the Easter talk, right? Jesus didn't know for sure that his Father would raise him from the dead.
Yep.
It has never happened in history, and it hadn't happened yet. He believed.
Yep.
Right? He believed. He had confidence, but he was about to face something really bad. When we're facing something really, really, really bad, the only way that we'll actually walk into it is that we're absolutely convinced on the other side of this crucifixion moment, there's resurrection.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way I'm going to go into that.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to go beat up for the team. I'm not going to be crucified to be a good example, all right? If this is the only way this cup can be filled, that I drink from it, then I'm going to do it. If there's another way to fill this cup without me having to get nailed to a cross and getting beaten up for the next day and a half, all right? I'd rather go with that. But if this is it, and you promise, and wow, the only way you can hang in there sometime is, Jesus, you promise you'll resurrect me on the other side, right? Mm-hmm. It's the only thing that'll hold you together. It's like, okay, I will stay in this marriage if you promise to get me through this next week, right? Mm-hmm. All right, or I have to bury my kid. I mean, that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go, no. Well, you're going to bury your kid, all right? Jesus, the only way I'm going to do this is you promise you'll resurrect me on the other side. Whatever I'm about to go through this valley of the shadow of death, you promise? And he'll go like, yeah, I keep my promises. And that's why you stay married. That's why you go to another counseling session. That's why you go to another meeting. Mm-hmm. That's why you don't go to the bar. It's why you don't open up your phone and
click send.
And with all your secret apps that everybody's got a secret app, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's your parachute going, I can always go to this. And I mean, every high school kid knows that there's a secret app that you can do anything you want on your phone, right? Yeah. So you can do anything you want. The point is, I'm not going to go there, but what am I going to do? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm going to put my phone down and just start walking, mm-hmm. all right? Or I'm going to call somebody, or I'm going to call my sponsor, or I'm going to call my whatever. Because if this is all there is, if we're on our own to fix everything and make it happen, and then if you try that hard enough and nothing changes for the better, it's a matter of time until you give up. But Jesus, if you promise to get me through this, and then stay with me, and if I lose everything, and you promise you won't leave me dead in the I lost everything, then I'm gonna do it, because nobody. What are my options, mm-hmm. right? And I'll say this, and I'm not patting myself on the back. Listen, I understand why people who are. I understand why. I don't know how to say this right. I understand why people in mine and Robin's situation get divorced. It's hard with Jesus. I don't know how you could do it without him. Yeah. I really don't. Some of us are out there and we're raising children with all kinds of behavioral things or chemical things or addictions and mm-hmm. things like that. And it blows families apart. I understand. It's hard with Jesus. I think it's impossible without him. And so whatever somebody's facing right now with their marriage, or some of us going, I want to live the sexual life that Jesus has in mind for me, but my body is saying, no, that's not even reality for you. And I keep caving and giving into it over and over and over, right? Through affairs, through pornography, through same-sex stuff, all that. It's all these secret lives. And we're going, I'm trying to tell, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And sometimes willpower will get you a certain way, mm-hmm. right? And then there's some things that only move because of faith. And mm-hmm. I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm just not gonna do it. And everything in my life says do it. And the only reason I'm not doing it is, Jesus, you promise. And some days are better than others, mm-hmm. and some days you make the mistake. But even then you go, Jesus, you promised that wasn't my last chance. And can we keep going? Mm-hmm. That's not permission to keep on getting last chances. Yeah. But if Jesus says, Cole, you got 2 more shots, and then I'm done with you. Yeah. Now you're just living in fear.
Yep.
Was that it? Was how most Christians do anyway.
Sure.
That was a long way around to get to the the only way, everybody has something in front of them right now. If you're listening to this, you don't even have to come to Easter. Just happy Easter. There are some things that you go, this is a suicide mission. This is death. This is not going to work. I'm about to go say or do something. It's right, and I know this is what God wants me to do. I'm about to get crucified. Mm-hmm. And most men don't have the courage to do that.
Yep.
And so they don't.
Yep.
And they get crucified later anyway.
Yep.
All right. But the only way to walk into the thing that God has put in, I believe in everybody listening to my voice right now has something in their mind going, I can never do that. I can never say that. I can never ask that. I can never confront that because it would be a suicide mission. Now,
everything comes to light at some point, right?
Well, yeah. And I'd rather be out in front of it. You know, Jesus was in total control of his crucifixion.
Yeah.
All right. But he did it. He could have called it off at any time. He did it because he believed with everything within him. He was risking everything that his Father would keep his promise to not save him from a cross and not save him from a tomb, but to save him from death.
Right.
And sometimes the only way you can go home and say, hey, Taylor, I got to talk to you, and it's going to be a bad night.
Yep.
Right. Or Rob, I'm just going to tell you how I'm feeling right now, and you don't have to do anything with it, but you know there's going to be a mushroom cloud over your house, right? Yeah. I believe that this is what God wants me to say and do, and this is how he wants me to say and do it. And the only way I would ever even take this risk, because everybody would tell me it's a suicide mission, is I believe on the other side of crucifixion, Jesus will resurrect me.
Yeah, that's great. One more thing. So with that,
the clock went dead. So
yeah,
I don't know how long
we're
time
just gonna keep talking. With that, so that crucifixion comes no matter what. It either comes on its own or it comes because you choose to. So with that, I'm speaking for myself. I love control. I think human beings in general love control. There's a huge sense of being scared to step in and make the choice to be crucified. What changes in those two options? So when you have the option to let things go by the wayside and you hide and are scared and live in worry all the time. I'm answering my own question, but it's like you live in worry all the time and anxiety, or you step into it and say, this shit's going to suck, but I'm going to step into it and choose it. And in so live in integrity. Why is this a better option?
Well, what are you looking for that you'd be willing to go to a cross? Jesus didn't go to make a point. Yeah. He knew that if the only way to accomplish what we want to accomplish, Father, is for me to get nailed to a cross, be stuck in a hole, and you keep your promise on the third day, yeah. Right? Then I will do it. So what has to be worth that? Right?
Yeah.
And the answer is the salvation of your marriage. Right? Mm-hmm. The only way that my family is going to hang together, the only way that I'm going to be sober, the only way that I'm not going to be addicted, the only way that I'm not going to, keep on effing up everything every day. So that's salvation. It's been saved. Mm-hmm. Then something's got to die.
Yep.
All right. And the ultimate thing we hold up as that's love is Jesus carrying his own cross up a hill. Mm-hmm. So I heard one author say one time, if the soldier hadn't nailed him to a cross, he probably would have taken the hammer and pounded in the nails himself. Yeah. Going, this has to happen. Yeah. Right. So the only reason that you would walk up a hill and be crucified is that you believed this is the one thing that might be able to save my blank. Yeah. Right. So you'll sell the farm and go bankrupt to get your kids sober. Mm-hmm. Well, who would do that? A loving Father. Mm-hmm. You would cut off all relationships and all things that have drugged you down in the past. Why? Because that's the only way my marriage is going to work. Right? You would move across the country to get away from something. You would to get a fresh start. You would you do what has to be done. And this is what the birds do, right? Mm-hmm. I do all that I know to do, and then I go, God, that's everything else is beyond me. But most of us quit. Go back to our original thought. Mm-hmm. Way before our what we're capable of. As Jesus was walking up the hill, everybody didn't go, okay, we get it. All right, we get your point. Mm-hmm. No, he had to die. All right. And then it was misunderstood. And then 3 days later, they went, oh, all right. So you do all that you know to do, and it's more than what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And wrong thinking, like, I don't know what's true. I don't know. Here's a big one. I just don't think God would want me to be this unhappy. Really? Okay. Explain that to his son.
Yep.
Like, I know Jesus was not happy on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Who called it good?
Yeah.
Jesus, hey, Jesus, feeling like it's a good day? It's like,
It's not good till Sunday.
Right. It's not good till Sunday, right? And I think that there's a man out there right now who's contemplating tapping out and going, I've done all I can do. So Rourke does this other thing, Denver, and his motivational talks. And of course, we make a funny joke out of it. It's called One More Inch.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So he's like, everybody hold their hands up in the air. Am I pitting out?
Nope, you're good. You're good. I think I am. But.
He's like, everybody reach as high as they can. And then he goes, now go 1 more inch. And everybody can go up 1 more inch, you know? And, I so wanted to go you can't add 1 inch to your.
I thought you were going to.
I was, and I don't know, it might have been a blasphemous thing to say Jesus made a wiener joke.
No, Jesus would make wiener jokes for sure.
He hung out he was like a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody's got another day in them. Everybody's got another breath in them. Everybody's got a little more patience. Everybody's got, we're going, I'm done. I can't do any more. That's not true.
You have a choice too.
Yeah. You breathing? Right?
Yeah.
They putting your body in a cave yet? Nope. Then you're not done.
Yep.
All right. And so that's what I would say is you're stronger than what you think you are or believe you are. And you have more to give and more to offer because the one who stands with you says, I'm not ready for you to quit yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I've yet to find God say, yeah, I'd go ahead and file. Yeah, I'd go ahead and drink. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd go ahead and look at porn. I mean, it's not fair what you're not getting. It's just not true.
Right. See you next week.
Yeah. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.
So good.